3/4 of Earth is covered in water. It's why it's called the blue planet. But 4.5 billion years ago, when our planet was born, it was just a molten inferno. There was no place for any liquid water at all. Yet the ingredients needed to create water were there, locked away deep inside the Earth when the planet formed. As the first volcanoes erupted, one of the gases that billowed out was steam. And as the planet cooled, it formed clouds. It rained for thousands of years. As the first rivers formed, they began to fill up the lower-lying areas on our young planet, possibly creating the first oceans.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم.
Okay, so you got from this video, in summary, how the water originated or started on Earth. Now, we would like to move to another area of science. It is the distribution of Earth's water. And this is really important. Because when we know this cycle of water, also it can come to tell us that the verse of the Quran not only tells us about the origin of the water, but also about the water itself. How it goes up, comes down, goes up, and comes down without any change in the water level in oceans and seas. أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها. Extracted from it its water and its pasture. If you talk about the origin of the water, it holds true. If you are talking about the cycle of the water, also it holds also true. Okay, the total water of Earth is 1.4 billion cubic kilometer. This is what? The total water of Earth. It is distributed as follows. Water in oceans and seas about 97.5%. Snow over poles and mountains 2%. The two poles. Okay? And snow over mountains. Underground water 0.48%. Water in lakes and streams 0.02%. Soil moisture 0.01%. Air moisture is 0.001%. In oceans and seas. And then the rest in the other parts of this planet, either inside or in the atmosphere. What's the purpose of this huge amount of water? It's really very important. Allah the Almighty said in the Holy Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. We made out of water every living thing. Every living thing. This is one thing. Another thing, without this huge amount of water, the temperature on the atmosphere of this planet would be not tolerable. No one can tolerate such temperature. Because without this huge amount of water, the temperature would go down during night to minus 100 Celsius degrees. And during day, it could go up to more than 100 Celsius degree. So life would be impossible on this planet. This is why we have such huge amount of water on this planet. And if you come to the comparison between the water on this planet to the water in other or on other planets, there is no comparison. No comparison at all. Scarce of water maybe in other planets. Therefore, life in those planets are impossible. Is impossible. Is impossible. Okay, so this is the water cycle. This is the water, the amount of water on this planet. To have an idea how Allah the Almighty made this possible for us in order to live and in order to develop this planet. We move to the water cycle, into sea. How the water goes up and goes or falls down. How the water goes up and falls down. In a term called water cycle. And it's well known for, I think, everybody of you, that the heat from the sun is the what? The energy that enables the water to evaporate and goes up to the atmosphere. Okay. And then this water vapor falls down and then condenses and falls in the form of rain on either on oceans or in seas or lakes or on land or everywhere. Basically, this is the water cycle. But let us go step by step how this phenomena occurs in nature. Heat from the sun vaporizes about 380,000 cubic kilometers every year of the Earth's water. 320 cubic kilometers come from ocean and sea surfaces, and 60,000 cubic kilometer come from land. This is every year. This amount of water falls again on this planet. Nothing escape in space. All of it comes down, falls down. See how it happens. 284,000 cubic kilometers fall on oceans and seas. That means the oceans and seas lose how many? 36 cubic kilometers of the water. Because how many is vaporized from the seas and oceans? 320. And 320,000. And only of that 284 cubic kilometer fall on the ocean, in oceans and seas. It means that the oceans and seas lose how many? 36,000 cubic kilometers of water. Okay. Where does this amount go? It falls on land. So, when you talk about meteorology, clouds are coming from the Indian Ocean over Yemen or other countries, and it rains. So, some of the ocean and seas water falls on land. It means that oceans lose 36 cubic kilometer of water. But let us see what happens to the 36,000 cubic kilometer. 96,000 cubic kilometer fall on land. It means that the land receives 36,000 cubic kilometer of water annually. From where? Additional water. From where? From oceans and seas. The 36,000 cubic kilometer from that fall on land, come back to oceans and seas, thus their water level remains unchanged. Through what? Through streams and rivers. So the 36,000 that was lost from the ocean and seas come back to the oceans and seas from the land surface through streams and rivers. So alhamdulillah, it remains unchanged. This is the water cycle.
Water cycle.
Alhamdulillah. Glory be to Allah. The water serves us, but without being lost. Without being lost. And this is a miracle.